Hey everybody, this is Marcellus Troy Alexander, Inspiration with Troy Alexander Live. I'm excited to be back one more time. Listen, we have an amazing broadcast tonight with an amazing young lady. And I'm telling you right now, you will be inspired, you will be uplifted, you will be encouraged. So listen, tonight, stay connected with us. We're on Facebook, Troy Alexander. We on Instagram at Pick by Design. I love taking photos, y'all, at Pick by Design. Listen, we're on YouTube, Inspiration with Troy Alexander. And guess what, y'all? Our nonprofit, calltoinspire.org. Calltoinspire.org. Stay connected with us. I want to again encourage you, if you have not received your book of poetry, your poems, Inspiring Dreams, Purpose, and Destiny, you can get it today on Amazon.com. Listen, it's on our nonprofit website, calltoinspire.org, or you can Google and search Marcellus Troy Alexander. Tonight, we have an amazing young lady, and I'm excited to have her. Listen, I'm honored to have her on the broadcast. Listen, she has presented speeches for Boys and Girls Clubs, the U.S. Department of Education, high schools, colleges. She's also been the keynote for Google's first, my goodness, web series and various entertainment panels, including the Made in Her Images Catalyst Summit with Sundance. My goodness, she serves as an ambassador for Blackmagic Cinema Camera. My goodness, recognized internationally for her film Beyond My Skin that has won the Audience Award at Black Star Film Festival. And guess what? Created a feature film at the age of 15 by raising $10,000. Let's welcome Aniya Wolfe. How are you tonight, Aniya?
Hi, I'm Mellow. I'm excited to just have this conversation. Thank you for
Oh,
introducing.
wow. Well, listen, again, I'm so honored to have you on our broadcast tonight. Listen, I want to ask you first, how long have you been making films?
This will be year 6. I'm going on
Wow.
6. I picked up a camera at 14 and I was in middle school and it started on my iPod Touch. It was a pink iPod Touch that my parents got me. And from there we've just been going higher and higher.
Wow. Yes, you have. You have been going higher and higher. I remember going to, my goodness, one of the red carpet experiences with your film. And we'll go there again a little bit later in the broadcast, but just to see you grow from that moment to now, it's been amazing and such an inspiring journey. I want to know about your creative influence. What inspires you?
What inspires me? Ooh, I think always since the beginning, I've always been very eclectic. So it's like what's happening in the now inspires me. And I think that's been consistent because to this day, my surroundings still very much inspire me. It's like, what is going on now? And then how did we get here? So examining the intentions behind everything, behind people, that really, really inspires me. Just like what I
Wow,
see.
love it. I love that, Anaya. And so I want to ask you, in your process, like,
Mhm.
how do you go from inspiration to conceptualization? Like, how did you transpose from an idea of inspiration to seeing that on film, whether it's through photos or through film?
So the process from like going from idea to in my brain to then the physical,
Yes.
um, how? So I think the first response is like, oh, like we need money. And that is true. Money is a way to translate. It does carry weight. I think it starts with, sight, like what do I see? And then it'll be recording it in some type of way. So if it's writing it down, if it's a voice memo, or talking to a friend, like just sharing the idea. I think that's like probably the second step because it lives in my mind, but I don't think it's real until I can hear someone else receives it, right? So I think that's the second part, like conversation, hearing point of views. Well, what do you think about this? Because that helps me understand what I think about it. And then from there, usually if the idea is good, there's support naturally will come um from people you love, family or friends. So I think at that point it's just about bringing the team together and it's communication.
Wow.
um and then from there, Yeah, we just make it happen. I think it definitely is like the spirit of God. And like from the beginning, it's been my family. My family has been so supportive. But to this day, I do think like just something that's been consistent is just sharing the idea, sharing it. Without the fear of it being stolen too. Just have faith that, you know, your idea is good and it's yours.
Right. Yeah, because I was going to ask you about that. Like being sometimes being transparent can be scary,
Oh,
right? Because you're showing you and you're being vulnerable. And as you just said, and I like hopefully someone doesn't take that part of you and do something else with it that is not aligned with the vision that you saw,
a
you
part of
know?
me is saying hopefully, and I think this all comes from, I have like my friend recently, Daniel Afleka. He's been really inspiring me with our conversations. But like, why are we here? Like, we're here to pass the baton, right? Like to continue on. And with that, there has to be a sense of giving of ourselves and like releasing and surrendering, letting go. Like we can't operate in fear or like we won't see progress. So I mean, yes, you know, operate with wisdom. Don't just like go telling your idea to everyone on the streets. But I do think there has to be a sense of faith and just knowing like once you like no one will be able to replicate the vision like you saw it. And
Wow.
so if someone else goes ahead and do it, it's still real and that's authentic and that's their expression. But I
Right.
can certainly come along and express and it'd be real and it'd be beautiful and it'd be just as potent.
Wow, powerful. That's powerful. And so I got to ask you, listen, you are an amazing film director, an amazing film director. And I love your vision of all that you've done from commercials to film. So I got to ask you, like, how do you, well, let me ask you this way. Have you ever come to an impasse where you're trying to create the vision for someone else? So they've asked you to come in and create something. But have you ever had an experience where their vision wasn't your vision and you quite didn't see eye to eye?
Oh yes. Yes.
And
Um, I have.
how did you
It's
handle that?
how oh goodness. So now that I'm older, there's a sense of like I know my position on the project is to serve. First, when I first started out, you know, I was very passionate and I still am, but it was based off of like just only how I was feeling, like my emotions, my experience with it, right? And now that I'm older and I've had a few experiences where it's like, okay, we didn't meet eye to eye, and now that time has passed, I see how I don't even feel as satisfied at the time now, you know. Now there's a sense of like, okay, my position is to serve. So if our visions or differences are different, I know my position here, and I also know my boundaries though. So if there is something that I don't believe in, I'm at a
Right.
place now where I can say no. um and with that, there's gonna, I mean, it's been not friction. I think so far everyone's been respectful. If there's been talk maybe like behind, I mean, so I can't control that, but I can say I'm prioritizing my self-fulfillment and others, but first my cup has to be full. So how I deal with that, I think it's just communication, and then, you know, having to be vulnerable, willing to, you have to be willing to hear that no, and it has to be willing to be difficult, you know.
Listen, I want to explore that a little further, Naya.
Let's
You
go.
talked about the power to say no. And so many artists, right, that I know of in the beginning of their journey, it's very difficult, at least what's been expressed to me, to say no because they want to go further in the industry, right? So sometimes they're afraid to say that no, even though their heart isn't really into it, but because it's an opportunity, right? They're gonna just do it for the opportunity, but even though they're not really connected with it. Um, Talk to me a little bit more about your power and your growth now, because you say, you know what? Now you have the power to say no. Did you feel at some point that you didn't have that power
Yes.
or as strong?
Sure. I for sure felt it. I think especially because like I haven't seen too many people in my position in terms of how I look and who I am. Like a young, when I step outside of my body, what do I look like to the world? A young Black girl. So it's just like when I'm presented these opportunities to do things that are like, cool and amazing, I'm hungry, because it's like, yes, like like it's considered like it's rare, right? Like I have the opportunity to do this, absolutely. And I should, like, everything's an opportunity. I think especially like how I grow, like, I'm sorry, like where I grew up in Philly, like moving to LA, there's so much more and different opportunities, and instilled in me, that's something to be grateful for, right? Like that this people back home don't have this, so this is something I should be grateful for. um I think it took pain to really show me what is worth it and what's not, like what is valuable and what's not. um so yes, in all areas of my life I've been able to say no, and it's not personal. I'm just sculpting, we're just sculpting. And I think now that I'm able to say no, I'm definitely able to receive a no, and there's still love. It's still,
Wow. I
yeah.
love that. Yes. Even with a no, it's still love. I love I love that.
Absolutely. Love is possible because of the no's, right? If we're
Wow.
saying yes
Yes.
all the time, is it love, or are we being passive or like what is going on?
Wow. Wow. Love, everybody. Love is possible because of the no. I
Yeah.
love that, Anaya. Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. So I gotta ask you, do you feel it's important for a film director or a photographer, because you're both amazing, um, to be to have an emotional experience with the subject matter, or do you feel that it's not always required? Because
Mhm.
I'm always asking actors, right? How do you portray a character
Mhm.
whose emotional experience you have not felt
Mhm.
in life,
Mhm.
right? And so I know they go to a place.
Mhm.
So as a film director, do you feel it's important that the director has an emotional connection with the subject matter or the feeling or the story or the messaging? Or can there be a separation where maybe they haven't felt it in personal life, but they can still direct it?
This is such a good question, and it's articulated so well.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
I think 3 years ago, I would have definitely said, like, yes, you have to have an emotional connection. You have to have lived it in order to tell it. When I moved here and I got older, I recognized that there are two realms to this. It's the business of photography, the business of film, and then it's the passionate aspect of it. And I think empathy is required for all artists, period, like directors, actors, photographers, because we are always telling someone else's story. Now we may be telling our story, um, but even in our stories, we're telling other people's stories too, I believe. So with that, I think it's important to know the story that you're telling. Um, I've told stories that I haven't lived before. They've been in my lineage. I've told stories that I haven't lived before, but I've seen it. And in order to tell those stories, it requires research on my end. Like I have to look up, understand Wikipedia, YouTube. I don't know if people do libraries anymore, but definitely Wikipedia, YouTube, and then even go as far as talking to the actual person, right? I think that eliminates the like objectifying them. Um, yeah, I think research on that end. I don't think you always have to live it, but I do think there has to be a sense of sincere care. But then when it comes to commercials and stuff, I mean, they're commercials or selling things. I think also awareness of your different what project, right? Like discern, like what is this project? What does it require? Um, and then you could choose, right?
Absolutely. Awesome. Everybody, see why she's amazing and phenomenal. I'm telling you, I'm just so proud of this amazing young lady. And now, again, your journey has been such an amazing light of inspiration. So I want to ask you, do you approach film differently than taking a photo? Because a photo is a moment in time.
Mhm.
And at least with film, you have multiple moments that you're capturing, right? On a reel or on a whatever you call it. No, but do you approach it differently in terms of one moment in time as opposed to several moments in time?
That's a good question too. Do I approach it differently? Yes. In film, I recognize, or just moving images, period, I like to also, along with the subject, the environment. I feel like the environment and the subject complement each other a lot. It takes the environment to kind of tell who is the subject. Like, how can we tell what character is this? And that's dependent on what's surrounding them. Like, so you could tell
Yeah,
the difference. So they're not like the
absolutely.
same thing. Now with photography, I find that the environment is pretty much blurred out. We're not really focusing on the environment. It is just the subject. And it's actually the opposite, where the subject would enhance the environment rather than the environment enhancing the subject. So typically when I take photos, yeah, I'm asking, it's like per person. And also there's different type of photography. Are we doing headshots?
Right, 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 right.
Now, if we're just doing like a photo shoot, which I love, it's like, okay, what do we want to accentuate? Like your fashion. It really depends project to project, but generally, yeah, there is a difference. There is a difference.
What do you want, Anaya, for people to see your work? Because again, your work, I mean, it's so artistic. I mean, it's so thoughtful. It's so um it 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 has a power to it when you see it. And what do you want people to walk away with? Either feeling or thinking, or what do you want them to be after seeing your work?
Changed. I
Wow. I
hope
love it.
something new in their peripheral. I will say that. I think that's been since the very first project. Just seeing something else, another thing, I guess. For it to be like in your subconscious. So like when you're walking outside, when you're living your life every day, there's I wouldn't say a perspective change, but like a new element to your perspective. That's what I hope with everything, even when I'm in front of the camera, because this last year it was the first time I stepped in front of the camera, really like that I wanted to. And that's been consistent behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. Just see something.
Wow. Wow. That's powerful. And I gotta ask you, like you've grown in this so much. Um, like talk to me about, have you taken classes in film and photography? Because listen, I met you and you were what, 14,
Yeah,
13,
maybe 14, 15.
14?
Mhm.
And you were already, I mean, like into it. You were actually going down that path.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I
remember
mean, it was amazing. And so, I mean, it's what, did you ever take like workshops, classes on film? Like, how did you,
Mhm.
how have you grown? Like, or is it, because listen, some people, in terms of photos, like they haven't taken no classes, they didn't go to school for photography. Like, it's just a gift and they have an eye,
Yes.
right? And they learn it. So tell me about your process. Is it more inspiration and a gift in you, or did you actually go and study film and study photography?
Yeah, I think it's been both. I will say when I first started, I was just doing it. It was trial and error based off of YouTube. I did take classes at Philly Camp, and that was great. I learned community there, and working with other people, because I would work independently so much, it came to a point where I was used to it. It wasn't as easy to work with a team.
Oh,
So at Philly
wow.
Camp, yeah, I was able to learn, like, okay, to have an editor outside of myself, to have like a teacher, like a guide, to have a director, to like how to talk to someone to direct the camera. That was Philly Cam. And I think they're still running. I hope they are. Um, Generally though, since I've been out here, I haven't taken any classes. I feel like life is my school, and it's taking really like my friends. Again, I think it's roots in Philly Cam, like just
Right.
community. I'm learning from
Yes.
them. I'm learning from our FaceTime calls, our conversations, from going outside and scraping our knee and putting on band-aids. Like,
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
I think
Yes.
repetition is the best teacher. Doing that over and over again, practice. But just because, and a lot of us are gifted. A lot of us are gifted. Even I can acclaim, like I can claim my gift. I think it's necessary to grow it. It doesn't just stop at your gift, right? Like we have to become skilled. And that's something I can work on too. Because I tend just to kind of like lean on like, oh, like I could just see it, you know, I just want to do it. But there's so much more magic when you're intentional about watering something specific about yourself.
Wow. Wow. Watering something specific about yourself.
Yeah.
Powerful. Love it. Listen, and listen, and not only that, everybody, is she I'm an acclaimed award-winning film director and photographer and anything else that she wants to do, she's going to be the best at it. Why? Because she's intentional about what she does. But you also have spoken, my goodness, to the Boys and Girls Club. You have spoken to the U.S. Department of Education. You've high school, college. What when you speak to these groups of individuals, what is your core message that you want to give and leave with them?
We have to be willing to listen.
Wow.
We have to be willing to be offended for the greater good. And I think I want to, when I'm speaking to groups of kids, to people of all ages, different subject matters, discussing different things, it's important for me to be an example of the idealism that I'm pursuing. It's really important because I think it's also, we hear our parents, at least I hear my parents say this, they're like, you know, it's that like, do as I say, not as I do. We're, as humans, we're wired to do what we see. So that's why I'm very inspired by the concept of just see this, see that it's possible, right? But in all conversations and everything, I try to pose as an example of just listening and understanding. Because if that principle is applied in so many different situations, whether it's in classrooms, on the street, I think there's so much more room for like contentment and peace and harmony. And injustices resolved, right? Listening, understanding, willing to be wrong. And that's a very scary thing. But like, we have to be willing to be wrong, right? We have to be vulnerable.
Yes.
It's okay to be wrong. It's like in our society, it's like so much pressure around, like you were saying before our call, coloring in the lines, like
Yes.
staying inside the lines. That analogy was a beautiful, like it's safe. We're safe. We're okay to
Yes.
be wrong. And if I think
Yes.
that's put across, whew, ego,
Wow.
right? Like just it's okay to be wrong. It's cool.
Yes. And that, Anaya, means that, you know what? I have to be willing to speak what I understand and what I see and what I feel. And knowing that, you know what? Everyone may not see it that way. Right. And that's okay.
Yes.
Right. It's all of our views is what makes the world beautiful. Right. How we see it is what makes everything beautiful. And so but yes, I listen, everybody, before the show we were talking and I was saying, look, it's okay to color outside the lines, right? Again, so because in that there's a freedom, right? There's a freedom, there's a joy, there's a release of expectation that I got to do it their way or their way. Listen, I see what I see. And I love that about you because you see what you see. And I love it because, you know, there's not things that are covering, but you've reached a place and you're still growing, but you've reached a place where your vision is so far beyond the now that it's inspiring. So thank you for going outside the lines, and now it's just amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. If someone came to you and said, you know what, I want to be a filmmaker, because I'm telling you, everybody, phenomenal. Please get to know her because it's award winning. I'm telling you, Academy, just all that. But if someone said, what's the first thing I should do or know about or consider or give thought to. I want to be a filmmaker. What would you say that they should focus on in the beginning of their journey?
Mm-hmm. What have you seen in your own life, right? Because a huge part of filmmaking period, we're just telling other people's lives, maybe our own lives, or maybe a character that we made up. Like a character that we made up, we're telling their lives, right? So I think the first thing to look at is like, one, yes, be a filmmaker. Like it's an amazing feeling, and a fulfilling experience. And it's a great tool to like connect with other people, like a basic human need, just connection. So I'd say the first thing you look at is what have you seen in your own life. And that could start out with, I don't know, journaling, talking to a friend, like just in your mirror, because me and this mirror have had a lot of conversations. I'll tell you that. Right, what have I seen in my own life? And in that are your pain, all your triumphs, all your confusion, all your successes, all the things you love, your family, which you maybe like regrets, things you wish you did, the best things you've done. Look at all of those things. Because each one of those things are going to be told in your story, whether it's intentional or not, because you're sharing your point of view. So I do think it's so good to be aware of your source, you know, because these things aren't, this is nothing to play about. I personally don't think films are nothing to play about, because it's like,
Right.
I revere it, right? It's literally a point of view, especially if you're showing youth like vulnerable, like malleable
Right.
minds, right? What are we
Yes.
putting in front of their face? Yes, do
Wow.
it. Just
Wow.
know your source, right? Because they're gonna be taking this information and they're gonna be living it subconsciously. These are just things we have to consider.
Right. Listen, I want to explore that because you talked about talking into the mirror.
Yes.
Um, and so many people, especially young people today, I'm seeing like they don't like what they see,
Mm.
so they try to recreate what who they really are. When did you learn the value of seeing you? Because for some people that's not always comfortable, right? It's not always comfortable seeing, and it can be scary, right? To look at yourself, right?
Mhm.
It's easy to look at others, but was there a moment? Did it just evolve? But when were you able to look in the mirror and be able to see you? What was that process
Oh, girl.
like?
Hey, girl. Um, when I was able to see me, I when I lost me, and
Wow.
and I don't know if that sounds cliche or what.
No, no.
I really think it took losing all of me to actually discover me. Um, and that's just that.
That's it.
It took that. It took losing everything. Um, Everything spiritually, because I've spiritually, emotionally, mentally, because I will say by grace, my parents, I've always been I've always been taken care of in that way. However, I do think principles can apply across areas. And so for me, it took hitting rock bottom to actually for me to like build myself back up. I think that process of um, building myself back up allowed me to like see every layer of what made me me. Um, yes. And beauty's a process. So it's time. Beauty's time. It is time, and it's intentionality.
Love it. Well, Anaya, all I can say is you are beautiful,
Mhm.
and you continue to grow into your beautiful, and it's amazing. And I'm so proud of you, so very proud of you. Listen, I have to ask you about you've done some amazing things, and as a film director, it's one thing to tell your story, but
Mhm.
when you're telling someone else's story,
Mhm.
to me, it seems like a film director has so much responsibility
Mhm.
on them. Uh, Do you ever get nervous? Do you ever feel the weight? or is it, or are you in your space and you're just free, and you know, so but do you ever get nervous in those journeys, or
Hmm.
ever feel the weight of wanting to make sure that you tell the story the right way?
Yes. Yes, it's such a good question. I mean, shoot. I mean, like just yesterday, I was like nervous. I mean, I feel like some projects, it depends project to project, but I I will say now I'm less nervous. And starting out, I was definitely like, there was a weight attached to it for me. It was like, yes, I love to do what I do, but it was always like this overarching burden of like, I guess I wanted to stay inside the lines, right? So if you
Right,
can
right.
imagine you're coloring inside, you don't want to leave the lines. So you're just trying to be, it's a little anxious. You're having a good time and the color is pretty and it's all of that, but I don't want to leave outside the lines. Yes. And I think it's a good thing. Because we can't hate ourselves, right? We have to be grateful for every weakness, every nuance, every facet of like what brings us to where we are. So when I was younger, and I still am, I was able to like transmute that. So like, yes, I'm nervous about this. But instead of like hating myself for being nervous, I know that I'm nervous because I really care about this. I
Wow,
really care
powerful.
about this. And that's a good thing. So it's like in that anxious energy, I would try to translate that by my in excitement, like being animated about what I'm doing. Maybe that manifests as talking fast, but like I now know because I'm nervous, I do want it to be good. I want it to
Wow.
be as close as to what perfect is in my mind as possible nowadays. And I was just talking to a friend about this, where I feel more comfortable. Like before, I could not eat on set. I would not eat. And I remember the
Right.
first set that I was on, Selfie was my first film, I nearly passed out. It was so hot outside. I was working
Wow.
all day and I had to sit down. I had my body like was burning out. My spirit was still like, but my
Right,
body
right.
was like, Naya, like you need to eat. And my mom gave me water and all, but now I'm at a place where I can actually wear dresses to set. I can direct in a dress. I can sit down. I can come in with like a coffee and a donut, like those things. But that was all a process because when I first started, that was impossible. I was on the script and I was like, everything has to be perfect. But now it could still be all of those things, and I could still take care of myself. And I think the big switch in that is knowing who I am and my identity, right? I am not
Wow.
what I do. What I do is a product of who I am. This is just one part of me. When I was younger, it was like, I am a film director. That is who I am. And like, that's my identity. But no, like, I direct films. But me just being a film director, absolutely not. There's so many different facets of me, and they all deserve to be seen.
Absolutely. And I'm telling everybody, you have to see her. There's a line in the movie Hidden Figures that say, you know what? We have to see what she becomes. I'm
Mm.
telling you, watch this young lady, Aniya Wolfe. Listen, we have to see who she becomes. And you are still becoming an amazing individual, an amazing woman, an amazing person. And I'm so proud. I'm going to say it probably 500 times,
Thank
but
you.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
So proud of you. Now, listen, before I let that answer go and
Uh-huh.
go on to the next, tell me about, because you said you could walk on film, I'm sorry, on the set wearing a dress. Now,
Yeah.
tell me about that process in your mind. Did you feel like you couldn't wear a dress
Oh
on
yeah.
set? Did
Let
you?
me give you context.
Yes. Yeah. I want because listen, I heard it, and I know everybody that's watching. I was like, so yes. Tell me
Yeah.
more about that.
So, oh goodness. And this is so brand. This is literally a change that happened 3 days ago. I posted on my story because I was like, I can wear dresses on set now. Like I feel comfortable. Um, in my head, especially like, okay, I'm very inspired by what I see, right? That's just me. Well, that is me. It might be other people. I hope it's other people too. But like I've never saw a young Black girl directing on set, so I didn't know what that looked like. So for me, what I do see on set though are the predominantly men, and there actually have been like a lot of women breaking out, which I'm so excited for. But back then, it was like men, they were all Black, and it was just like that's all that I saw. So when I was on set, I was like, okay, like I have to put on slacks and like a t-shirt and like, and the most creative or the most feminine I could get with what I wear is maybe the colors, like yellows or like brighter colors. And I did
Right,
that for
right.
my psyche because again, I'm inspired for what I see. So brighter colors make me feel like more confident and stuff. Um, but yeah, and I think also just thinking like, oh, femininity isn't worthy of leadership, and that's just something that was I thought, because I didn't see a lot of women leaders, it was like, it's masculine. So I thought about that in my outfits. I was wearing mask sneakers, it's time to go to set today. We don't wear dresses and stuff. But I will say, after I feel like losing myself and then seeing who I am and finding my identity as in God, I was like, this is like, I can come if I want to wear if I want to wear a dress, like it's my set. Like
Right, right, right.
if I'm the film director, we're here today because I'm putting forth a vision.
Yes.
Glory to God. I'm gonna be comfortable and I'm gonna wear a dress today because that's how I like. That's how I feel. I really don't need a reason for it.
Wow.
It was that's a huge shift that happened 3 days ago. I was like, wow, I can really walk on set in a dress and still
Wow.
direct the set. Thank you, God.
Wow. That's powerful. That is so powerful, and so many people have just been freed, right? By just hearing your freedom about. So you know what? I'm the film director, right? I can I don't but it's that growth process, right? We go from expectation, right? From what we see and what we know, right? Or what we expect or anticipate what they, and until we get to a place, we know what? No, I can go outside the lines. It's okay. It's
Yes.
okay.
I can create my own lines, right?
Yeah. Go ahead, Aniya. Yes. Create my own line. That's right.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
These are the new lines.
That's right. We're gonna draw the new lines. That's right. I love it. I love that. Um, Listen, I remember your post and your journey when you were the keynote for Google's first web series. Please
Yeah.
tell me, what was that even like? How did you learn of that, and what was that moment like for you?
That's literally probably like one of my top 5 moments of my whole entire life. Maybe up until, my passing, but like that was such like a bright day. Like all of like I've like okay, before that moment, before stepping on stage, I was experiencing anxiety. I was very nervous, and there was more and more people. I did a rehearsal on the stage and there wasn't people in the audience. It was maybe like 10 girls, but there wasn't people there. And for me, what I learned about myself is that I'm just inspired by going back and forth, like connection. And there wasn't like a whole lot of people to connect to, a lot of emptiness. And I was
Right.
like, I feel like I was talking to a void. And I was like, is this message even good? Like, what is going on here? And at rehearsal, oh my
Wow.
God, oh my goodness, I was just like, I can't do this. So, but I remember Twinkie Bird, she's a casting director out here. She walked, I saw all these people, more and more people were going in. I was excited, but just very nervous, more nervous than excited. And then Twinkie Bird was among those people. And this is a woman that I've met before, and she's always presented so much transparency and honesty. And with that, for me, when I see transparency and honesty, I feel safe. Like if you
Wow.
can be so honest with who you are and how you're feeling, then I in return I feel like I can be that too. So when I saw her, kind of pulled her out and I was like, hey Twinkie, this is my situation. And I told her exactly, I was just rambling on and on how I don't feel connected to the source, and I just and she was like, okay. She was like so cool, calm, and collected. While I was turbulent, she was like this.
Right,
And
right.
she gave me direction. She said,
Wow.
go and meditate. She said, you see like the fields over there? She said, go step away. It was maybe like 20 minutes to like it was my time. She said, go step away, take in a few breaths and talk to your she used my language. I think that's what really struck me, because now from that point forward, like on, I have a whole new perception of who God is in my life. But back then she met me where I was at. How beautiful
Wow.
was that? She met me
Yes.
where I was at, and she was using my language, and she told me, like, listen, go talk to your source and breathe, like meditate, this and that. So I went over, I laid down, it was like a bench, no one was over there. It was really active. If you can imagine this big space, so many people were over here, it was like silence over here. So I took my orange sweatsuit, walked over there, laid down, and I just breathed in and out 10-15 minutes. And when the 15 minutes were over, I walked up, I felt like I was gliding. It was literally like heaven on earth. I will say, like, I felt like everything was glowing. I don't know, like it was very imaginative. I was like on a high, like on 10. I walked in, and like it was like that wasn't even happened. Like that moment had died. Like that anxiety, all that was gone. Now I'm here, and it's like it's our time, and like let's do this. And so many more opportunities came from that moment. Things I
I
wouldn't
can
even,
imagine.
yeah, being present, like that moment did change my life
Wow.
foundationally.
Wow. Listen, I remember that as it was yesterday. And I'm like, wow. I mean, to see you on that platform. First of all, I'm not surprised. I wasn't surprised that like that was, but but the surreal moment, like, wow. She's and you're where you're supposed to be. You are where you are supposed to be, and where you are destined to be. And I love that. And I love what you said about she spoke to where you were in your language. That's
Yes,
powerful.
that's powerful. I was
That
able
is
to receive her. Like
that's
that's like a
powerful.
supernatural ability I feel like we can all tap into, and that's what I want
Yes,
to do with my films. We need,
yes.
yeah.
Love it. I love it. And not only that, everybody, she is the ambassador for Blackmagic Cinema Camera. Please tell me, what is being ambassador means and how did this happen?
Yeah, so right now with Blackmagic Cinema Camera, I am able to borrow cameras for free of charge. And it's wonderful. They've been so supportive. They give me these 6K pros, like 12. I've worked with a 12.6K, a 12K camera. I can't even remember the digits because yeah, it was huge. It was so much rendering and processing to do on my computer. But they give me cameras infinitely for free, and they just want to support me. They expect nothing in return. They just want to help me put my vision forward, translate that. um so being an ambassador, just in their eyes, it just means receiving, which is cool.
Listen,
Like I'm not
li-
even being paid to say any of this. Like this is just what they do for me.
well, listen. I don't, I know what they see. And you may be thinking they're not getting anything in return. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They see the greatness of your inspiration, not only where you are, but around this world. Like I know that your films and your work is going to be known all around this world. I do. I I don't hesitate. There's
Mhm.
no pause in
Mhm.
my commentary.
Mhm.
Like I am 100%. I will go in court. I will stand before God and listen. I know this.
Wow.
I know that your work, because there are very few people in this world that change and resonate and change the landscape of what is. And you are one of those people. Again, I don't say that about a lot of people. It's very rare that I say that a person will change the land. But even at 14, I could see that there was something about you that was different than a whole lot of 14-year-olds.
Mhm.
And so I'm not surprised. I'm not concerned at all about you getting through and getting to what is destined for you because I see it.
Thank you,
I
sir.
do. I do. And so I just can't wait for it to be revealed. So I see it, but I can't wait for it to be revealed. My goodness. Okay. All right. Let me go on. Okay. So when and then everybody, she won the audience award at the Black Star Film Festival for her film Beyond My Skin. Do you remember what age you were? Like, were you 14 or 15 or
Maybe 15 years old.
and so what is it like winning awards and being recognized
Yes.
internet, not just in Philly, but being recognized internationally for a work you've done at 15, at 14.
Yeah, that's what this is all about, right? Like, in being in the sense of internationally, I think it's about, like, I really do want to expand. I want to tap into like truth, and truth goes across cultures, goes across ages and people. So the true success in that for me is like, internationally, that what that means. How it feels to be recognized. It's a I look at it as an opportunity. It's an exciting feeling because recognition, when we translate it into the world, it's like it's value. Like, oh, if she's being recognized, I'll open my heart and hear what she has to say. Like, and I think that's what the value in it, right? Like the awards and all. Because they're cool. They are great, and I think I'm very careful with recognizing them as, just recognizing, if that makes sense. Like, I'm happy to be recognized. Um, just being an example, we have to recognize other people. It's really cool. It's really cool to be recognized.
Well, well, you are so deserving. I can tell you now, you are so deserving, and there's more to come. So listen, you talked about truth, right? I love the part of your bio where you talked about how you speak to your fascination with imagination,
Mhm.
music, tears, and
Mhm.
universal truth.
Mhm.
Tell me about tears. What's your fashion? Where did that come from to having a fascination? And what does it mean of tears? What does that mean to you?
Tears. Tears, that's so good. That is such a good question. I'm actually surprised I haven't asked myself that, because I've been asking myself all types of questions. Tears, what's coming to me is like it's a physical representation of emotions. Like, when a tear comes, like water, it's literally water coming out of your body, and it's just like, I don't know, it's um tears exemplify, like, you really feel it, like it's touched you. When I see people, I think one of my favorite parts of like the whole process is seeing responses. And when tears come, i I feel that I did my job. Like, I like to know, like, okay, I did my job, but I'll feel that I did my job when I see those tears. um and maybe because all humans cry, so it's just like, yeah, I'm happy. It's like I put out, and then you receive, and you gave out. it's,
Wow.
it's just like a relationship thing that I get off of, like, just seeing tears.
Love it. Well, everybody, she almost made me cry before the broadcast. So we were talking, and she shared something about me, and I was almost began to cry. So yes, I didn't tear on the outside, but I was tearing on the
I think
inside.
it's also because it's something you can't control. Like, yes,
Yeah.
that term of like you can fight back tears, but once those tears like let loose, that's like
Oh
that's
my
something.
goodness.
It's a release, right? Sometimes crying,
Waterfall.
sometimes crying, it's like a release. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I have to ask you because I'm a visionary. And so when I wanted to ask you, is it difficult for you to turn your mind creatively off or to give it rest or pause? Because I have to imagine someone like you, I would think, sees so much in everything.
Mm,
Like, do you are is that how you go through life? Like, you're walking down the street, or you're
mhm.
driving in a car, or you go to the amusement, or you go to the and you're seeing things? Is that or are you able to put sort of your creativeness on pause and kind of just sort of like be in the moment?
Oh, this is so good. The question applied, I think, so what inspires my creativity is what I see. So truth be told, and this is something I called my aunt about on my birthday. And I cried on my birthday because I was like, Auntie, like, I don't know what to do with this. It's like I see a lot. And so the
Yeah,
creativity comes second. It's like I
yeah,
see everything and then I want to translate. Truthfully, seeing what I see is I can't be turned off. And what I mean by that is seeing how people feel, seeing what they're going through. It's something I'm in the grocery store, like I'll walk around and I'll see like the pain people carry. And but I'll also, along with that, I'll see like the joys, right? Like the angels, the pleasantries, the holidays, like the lights. Um, but I'll also see the exact opposite, and that's something I can't turn off. Um, it's just it I think it strengthens my dependency on God, right? My, you know,
yeah.
that's music. I love music and all of that because I guess it's a way to release all of that, what I've seen. It's a way to connect with it. Like, it makes sense of what I see when I hear somebody else's art. I'm like, okay, that gives context to why this person may have said that or thought this way. Um, yeah.
Love it. I love it. Listen, everybody, not only is Anaya amazing, but her entire family. So I gotta ask you, um, what do you think your father saw in you? I mean, you are a young lady who has a dream, right? And he made a promise, right? He said he would move the whole family from Philadelphia to Los Angeles. And you didn't have any formal background in entertainment industry and so forth, but you had a dream. What do you think your father saw in you that because I'm telling you, I don't know too many families that's going to pick up and move from the East Coast to the West Coast for a dream. And there's not a whole lot else beyond that,
Wow.
right? So tell me what do you think your father saw in you to
Wow.
give you to make you that promise?
Um, I think, what did Papa see? Um, I think the first words coming is the do, right? Like the doing. I think he saw the doing. Um, because not only I would have these visions and imaginations and like, oh, I want to do this and that, but then I, at the time, I would use what I had available to do.
Wow.
I think it's
Wow.
across the board when you see someone just, work with what they have, right? They're not focused on what they don't have. They're not focused on the lack. They're focused on what they do have, even if it's a little bit. There's something about that makes me just want to support. I want to surrender. I want to support that. That's there's something real and something that's lasting there. It's not just based upon, you know, something fickle. Like if you don't have the money, you're still doing it. Oh, now what can you do if you have the money, right? So like that principle of just doing, I feel like my father saw that. And for that, I'm grateful.
Listen, your father had the privilege of seeing you grow years before he made the promise. I met you one time at the age of 14 and at this event, and I saw it right away. I mean, I know your father had so much more time to evolve in his thought process and your family. And I'm saying, listen, I saw it the first time I met you. There was a light in you that was like, is she really 14? Like, are you really? And I'm sitting there like, and I saw so much in the one moment. So I'm telling you, and that there is, so I know that one moment can change a person's landscape for everything else that they see.
Wow.
Because I saw you for one moment, and I knew there was something special about you.
Troy
And
Alexander.
and it was an honor again to come to Philly to see your film, to be a part of your journey. And I don't want to keep talking. I better go on to the next question because I'm feeling a tear. So I don't want to go there.
Release.
But it's just but it was a moment, and and I've been blessed because of you. So I'm grateful to God for you, and of course your entire family is amazing. But it all started with you, and so I thank you for that. Um, so let me ask you, because I know journeys can be challenging, right? Everything isn't easy. Everything isn't like just comes in your hand, right? So I got to ask you, did in this journey from Philly
Mhm.
out to California,
Mhm.
at any point did doubt ever come in your mind, like, is this really for me? I mean,
Mhm.
did that ever? And again, it could not have, because you just knew regardless of what it was going to be, right? But at any point in time, was any doubt?
There's never been doubt that like I'm not going to be okay. Like I've always had faith that I'm good. I think the farthest doubt has gotten to me is more so like recalculation. It's more so like how am I doing this in the way that it's supposed to be done? Am I doing this and how am I going about this? Maybe I'm not doing it the right way. Maybe there's a better way to do it. I think that's the farthest doubt has gotten me. It's never been though like I'm not, this is not for me and I've been terribly misled and this is wrong. That's those thoughts never hit. I think I'm just very aware and I have a desire to be like good. I want to be the highest in all that I do. But it's also like defining what this highest look like and all of that. So I think that's the farthest. Like doubt is just more so like maybe I'm doing this wrong. But then again, it's okay to be wrong.
Yes.
Opportunity to be right.
That's right. That's
We should
right.
applaud. We should actually, it'd be so funny if society was like every time you're wrong, you get applause. Like in school, wrong answer, like
Yes.
everyone claps.
Right. Because you know why? They tried. They gave an answer. Right? Where some people don't even take the courage, don't have the courage to even take the step.
My goodness.
Listen,
Yes.
um, I'm not gonna hit the ball 100%, right? I'm going up to the plate. And if I get 3 out of 10, listen, I'm doing pretty good actually, or 2.5. So my whole point is,
Yeah.
no one's perfect, but how do you even know if you don't even try?
Right. It's
So
also why be stagnant? Like I think when we are moving, there's at least an opportunity to be corrected, right? If we're stagnant, how will we ever be corrected? That's where I feel like that's like the place where depression and like, anxiety, all of that starts to grow. It's because you're not moving. But like I'm a very much I stand behind Nike when they say just do it. Just do it. You got 3 out of 10.
right?
Amazing. What if you wouldn't even known if you were just like now you know where you're at least. You know how far you've come and you know what you have to do.
And that striking out is part of the journey. So
Mm,
I'm not going to not get back up again
mm,
because I struck out. No, you get back up to the plate. If you do it again, get back up to the plate.
that's it.
It's a part of, listen, I falling down is a part of standing up.
Wow. Yes. Fall, what is it? The fall 6 times, get back, you stand up 7. Also, it's endurance. Everything is growing you, right? Every time you get back
Listen,
up to the plate, that pain of like grunting to get up, what's being tested and strengthened in that moment? Your endurance, your character.
right.
These are
Just
cool concepts.
that's right. Just man, listen, falling 7 times, but get back up again. And guess it, if it's 8, not get up again. So and every time that you try, you learn. You're
That's
learning something, right? So I love that. Listen, I Your bio said that you are devoted to unlocking the empathy in the hearts of people through visualization.
Mhm.
Why is that so important to you?
Empathy, unlocking. May you
Yeah.
repeat that?
Yes, it's unlocking empathy in the hearts of
Okay.
people through visualization.
I think because one thing about me is I'm very empathetic. I think because I
Yes.
can see so much, I'm like, okay, I'm tired of rejecting this aspect of me. Like rejecting, like I'm so caring, right? Like it's not, I'm tired of like hating myself for, and I never really hated myself for it. But like I'm saying, instead of like suppressing that and just acting like it's not there, accepting it, okay, it's here now. What can I do with it? Right. And I found that in my life, I've been able to have really fulfilling and deep relationships with friends, people all around, because of this empathy, right? And I feel like if anything, before it's film directing or visions, the gift is empathy. So okay, the gift that keeps on giving. I've seen how empathy changes people's lives. It changes I think empathy will change everything. Just putting
It
yourself in
does.
someone else's shoes.
It
Um,
does. It
unlocking
does.
empathy. I say unlocking because I do think it's in everyone. It's just like different. It's about unlocking it, right? Like, what did it take for you to recognize that you have the capacity to understand and feel where this person is? And through visualization, because I'm like you, I'm a visionary. So it's like, okay, this is the way I can do that through visuals.
I love it. Listen, then I read in your bio, Naya, you talked about you wanted to fund trips for kids
Yes.
and underprivileged, I mean, what, why do you want to give kids an experience to travel the world?
Why, you ask? Oh, goodness. Like, okay, so being in Philadelphia, and all of my family being in Philadelphia, our way of seeing anything new was through a screen. It was through TV, right? I would
Right.
only, especially, just being conscious of the crime in Philadelphia and my father being a sergeant at the time in the police department, him seeing the absolute worst of situations, I wasn't going outside. That was not an option. We weren't playing outside. We weren't walking to school. Um, and so for me to go outside was to watch TV. And that's shaped a lot of my point of view. Then I found when I was able to travel, when we took that road trip to California, all the different sites, the like coming here, the different opportunity, the different people, the different artists and stuff. I was like, this exists? Like this is real. If I was sitting in Philadelphia, I would not know that this is a reality. And when we're watching it on TV, it seems so distant. It's so far. Those are things that only happen in TV or someplace far, far away. So once I was able to travel, I was like, first of all, the gap was closed. It was like, okay, this is not that far at all. This is like literally right next door. There's so much an hour outside of Philly too. But like really. So with that, I am very passionate, and it's been on my heart for years, but now I'm at a place where I can physicalize it. I can make it real. It's not just in my head. But I want to bring kids from Philadelphia hoods all over the world for free. Because the thing that restricted me at the time was one, it would be money. Like, do we have the money to do this? Two, um, access. Like, if do we have a parent that's even thinking about these things? Because and they can't. I mean, they're working these jobs. They don't even have, that's not a thought on their mind. Vacation, maybe that's something we do once every 9 years. Like, um,
Yes. Wow.
so I want to take kids across the world for free, all expenses paid. They don't have to pay for the hotel, for their food, and we could just give them these experiences so when they go back home, they know there's so much more than like the hood that they're living in. And it also I feel like it glorifies, like, you more appreciation. You see
Oh,
what you
yes.
have. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want them to be inspired by what they don't have. I would love
Right.
them to see, okay, this is what we do have, and then this is what we
Yes.
can have.
Wow. Wow. Wow, Anaya. Wow, this is what we have, but this is what we can. Oh my goodness. Okay. That was so powerful. I love it. I love it. Just a few more questions. I won't keep you, but just what is next? What else is on your vision board? Do you have anything else that you can share? Again, if you can't share it, listen, don't share nothing that you signed contracts for just yet. You haven't been able to share. But is there anything else on your vision board that you would love to explore? Explore? I
Yes.
should.
This year of 20, stepping into my 20s, I I want to slow down. I want to slow down in the sense of, in my teenage years, I was hopping from project to project. It was like, 2 weeks, 1 week. The longest project was the feature film. That was a year project, and that was great. But then after that moment, I was like, music videos, short films, everything was very fast and sporadic, like sporadic little fires. And I enjoyed it. And I did it for that reason. I didn't want to stay in one place. I had all this energy, right? But stepping into my 20s, I realized I want to grow something. I want to build something. And the bigger the fire, the more people it'll warm. So something long lasting. And so with that, the traveling kids across the world, that is a new thing on my vision board. I want to come back to Philly and I want to take everything, all the people, the opportunity, the relationships, the wealth, and just bring it to Philadelphia. That's where I'm at right now. I have like nonprofit ideas. Um, and while we're doing that, I want to document them and I would love to present that as a film in itself. Um,
Oh,
it's very new. I would not think like last 2, 3 years ago I would be going in this direction, but I'm inspired by what I see and the creativity just comes second.
I'm I felt everything you said. I felt I not only did I feel it, I saw it. I
Oh,
saw
right.
everything you said. Wow. And of course, whatever I can do to be a support to you, listen, you don't even have to ask.
Yeah, we're
just
gonna
know that I'm there.
document the change. That's
Just
that's
know
where
that.
the visuals come in. We'll document the change, but like right
Yes.
now it's very hands-on, like going back home.
Love. Well, listen, um you've done so much. I love seeing you in front of the camera. So I gotta ask you this. Um, is modeling something that you would explore? Because first of all, I said before, there's a beautiful about you. And so if someone said, I want you to be the face or the beautiful of our brand or this or that, is that something that you would explore going into, or is a modeling not something? Um,
Oh, Troy. We're here with it. Because this is I was again having this conversation a couple of days ago. I I've always was like, behind the scenes is where I stay. I don't want to be in front of the camera. However, within the last year, I stepped in front because I was changing and I was like, I want to document this change. I feel like it's bigger than me. With anything that I do in front of the camera, it must have an overarching theme because yeah, because I want to use my face has value. Like all our faces have value. And so like I want to say something. So if a brand were to approach me, I would want to be involved in the sense where I can influence their direction. Like, okay, yes, what's the direction the company is going in? How much say do I have? Like, where can we see like physical change from, me participating in this? And I feel like that's something we should all be walking in, really. Um, but yes, to answer your question, yes, I would model, but not for your everyday situation. Whatever I choose, know it's very intentional and that you will see change from it.
well, everybody, all I can say is you will see Anaya on billboards around the world, with a message, with
Yes.
intentionality,
With the
with
message.
with a message and with intentionality. And I love that about you. I love that. Um, a few more questions. I'm almost done. Is tell us about your support system, because I mean your family. is so awesome and amazing and fun. Again, everybody in your family has a story.
They do.
They have a journey.
Hmm.
And I mean, what can I say? I mean, everyone in your family has a story of themselves, but collectively, you are so. Tell me the importance, because not every child has the support that you have had. But tell me about the value of that support in you becoming who you are and who you are still becoming.
You know, I am so grateful. And when it comes to telling you the value of it, I almost feel like I can't tell you the value of it until I don't have it, you know? And that this is something I've lived, like, don't know what you have until you lose it. There is an essence of truth in that. I found. Um, every single member of my family has sacrificed. They've died to themselves in some way for me to be able to walk here, to be here. Um, and that it's a gift, right? There's nothing I could do to deserve that. Um, with that, I would love to give that same supportive energy to the kids that don't have that. Because there's nothing I could do to deserve it. I didn't do anything to earn it. So, and putting myself in those kids' shoes, they didn't do anything to deserve not having that, right? They didn't do anything. So it's like with this asset, this gift that I have, how can I transfer my understanding and my experience to them? And how can they, if they're interested, translate their experience and what they've learned from not having that, from that character growth, from that endurance that I will forever respect? How can they maybe teach me some things about how you came up, you know? Um, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I mean, it's a gift for real.
You are a gift. You are a gift. And um, and what you just said spoke so much volume of the pricelessness of your family. And then seeing something in you, and they're seeing something in you, I believe even spark something greater in them. Like I've seen your mom just
Mhm.
blossom even more.
Butterfly.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've, your brother, your sister. I mean, I've seen all of them in their own way just blossom in so much, and your dad doing so much more. I mean, and it's a gift. You are a gift, Aniya. You are a gift. Your family is a gift. And everyone that has the honor and privilege to be connected with you in any way is blessed. So
Mhm.
thank you so much for sharing. One last formal question is,
Mhm.
what would you say to someone who uh, don't quite see their dream coming to pass? What would you say to them to encourage them to hold on to
Ooh.
their dream?
One, I would say breathe. Breathe.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
that could be earth shattering. That can wreck your world when you have a vision and it's not coming to play. But I would say have patience. There's a line in scripture that I like to think about. It says like basically the plans of a person, like we have our own plans, but the steps are in the Lord. Like the Lord maps out our steps, but we have our own plans in our heart. um I thoroughly believe that dreams, your imagination, they are not our own. They're not our own. And to believe that if you have that dream, you have that vision, you have that imagination, to know that that was deposited into you, and to know that it's not your own. And so with that, I mean, there's a eerie sense of like confidence that I hope is aroused, and knowing that it may not happen at the timing that you desire, but respect every part of your process. we must respect every part of our process. Because if we don't, let's say our dreams are just able to happen instantly, just like that, instant gratification, like Amazon 2-day delivery. It was just able to happen just like that. One, where's the appreciation of your dream? Two, without appreciation, how are you going to respect your dream? Meaning, like, are you just going to let it, like, if you get this tomorrow, are you going to revere it enough to water it, to make it stay, to be able to even enjoy it? Or are you just going to let it wither away? You know, I really think our God is so intentional with everything we do. And so there's no reason why your dream shouldn't be occurring if, one, you're praying, because if you're praying, then your heart is aligned with the Lord's and everything he wants, he like you want to, like it just flows, right? It's a flow state. And so if your dream is not happening, I wouldn't give up. I think that's absolutely the worst thing that you can do. Maybe a different way. Maybe we could change our approach. Maybe talk to a friend about it. But just to say, no, I mean, you're the only one that has to live in your body. You're the only one that has to go to sleep with yourself every night. So are you living for yourself, or are you living for the voices that told you no, that's not possible? Which one? It's these things.
No, listen, and I love that. Which one?
Which
I
one?
love it. Which
Choose.
one?
You're
And
the
and I'm telling you, Aniya, I was hearing you talking about, and I saw roots. I saw how it's necessary for the roots to run deep, right? And that is the experiences that we have along this journey, so that when those strong winds of life come and blow up against us, we have something to hold on to. I told someone the other day, I can't climb a smooth mountain.
Oh,
I need a mountain that has some jagged edges,
wow.
right? I need some rough places, right, in my life, so that when the next storm comes, right, I got a root as to who I am. So when I walk into a room, right, I'm not questioning who I am. I already know. And even if they say no, as Aniya said, we can applause because it's okay.
Yes, that's a bridge for you to climb on so you can get to the
Yes,
one. That's what those
that's,
no's are. That's a
that's
fantastic
right.
analogy.
So listen, is there any more you want to share with us? I know we've talked about a lot of different, but is there more that you want to share with us? I want to give you time to acknowledge anyone else that you want, or to acknowledge anyone that has been a part of your journey thus far. But is there more you want to share with us at this time? Because you're such an amazing individual. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I mean, first, Troy Alexander, you've been so consistent. You've been so consistent in delivering this positivity and this platform for people to be seen throughout the years. And I mean, as far as I've seen, your energy has never changed. It's just been so consistent. It just grows and it grows, and we're getting cleaner and better. And I love seeing the growth. So just thank you for this conversation. Um, Shout out to my mom, Diana Wolfe, Travis Wolfe, my father. Yes, I do want to talk about my just briefly, just my siblings, the ones that I don't acknowledge. I have two other siblings that I've never celebrated publicly. And I noticed that on my birthday when one called, and I was like, I'm an older sister to 4 human beings, not 2. Like, yeah, we might not live together, and I haven't seen you in a long time, but like, we're still blood, and I still want to love you, you know? I noticed that turning 20. So, Evian, Tori, I love you guys. I love you babies deeply, and everything I go from this point on, I'm thinking about you. Um and shout out to Daniel F. Lecker. He's a photographer. You can see his work on my Instagram. He's been very instrumental in shaping my perspective the last few months. And shout out to RJ Roberts. It's a person that's also was very supportive on my journey the last year during COVID. He actually was the one who was able to afford me the Blackmagic ambassadorship. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. He just released his company contribution, and that's something to look into. It's really good. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Thank you for watching. Everyone who listens to me, I know I could be wordy. um, but yeah, here.
Well, thank you so much, Aniya. I can't thank you enough. Where can people find you? Like, what are your social media handles? If people want to connect with you, where can they find you?
My Instagram is Aniya Wolfe. That's where I'm at a lot of the time. ANIYAWOLFE. My Facebook, Aniya Wolfe. Um, my Twitter, I think it's _by Wolf. I've been taking a break, but you can hear my thoughts there. um, and yeah, I am in a time where I'm trying to buy a truck. So if there's any support with that, my PayPal is Ivy Sky Pictures. With the truck, I'll be able to transport equipment, and Ubers are expensive. So if you want to support me, that is like such an instrumental way. Yeah.
It's done. It's done. Well, we thank you, Aniya, so much. Listen, everybody, Aniya Wolfe, please, again, please remember that name. You will see it, you will know it, whether by name, by her work, by her face, by her picture, by her beautiful, everything she does, it's truly amazing. Thank you, Aniya, so much for this honor. I appreciate you. I love you. So thank God for you. Appreciate you. And again, it's an honor to even know you. And I'm so glad. Sierra Miller, thank you so much for that moment when, well, it's now 6 years ago, 6 years ago, for allowing me to come to your event, to take your pictures at that event. And the blessing was to meet this amazing young lady today as we know her, Aniya Wolfe. Thank you so much, Aniya. Any last words you want to share?
Your skin looks good. It's been 6 years. You look fantastic. You have not aged.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Listen, it's the joy and it's the purpose of life.
Mm.
And I have this platform where people, I can do a virtual Zoom with people about knowing their purpose. It is such life when you know what your purpose. I get up in the morning excited about the next day. I'm already excited about tomorrow, right? Because I'm expecting something greater, right? And so this is so maybe that goes into my skin. I don't know.
I
Or
believe
my,
it. I believe it.
so
Okay.
thank you so much. So everybody, please again, follow this amazing young lady's journey. She is phenomenal. Thank you so much, Aniya Wolfe. We are appreciative of you. Everybody, again, this is Inspiration with Troy Alexander. Every week, we come on to inspire you to go get your dream. And you know what my motto is? Dream, take that step, and walk with purpose into your destiny. Thank you, Aniya, so much. I can't wait to see you again in person, but so proud of you, so proud of you. And it's an honor. Thank you again for sharing your inspiration, your joy, your purpose with intentionality. Thank you so much, Aniya. Have a great night.
Bye.